Welcome to Modern Traveler, it's Jay, and just about an hour east of downtown Halifax is where you'll find Memory Lane Heritage Village. It's an award-winning living history museum depicting coastal rural life in Nova Scotia during the 40s. With live animals that roam the grounds and artifacts you can touch and explore, Memory Lane is truly an unforgettable experience. Their mission is to inspire an enduring appreciation for the heritage of the Eastern Shore, both for residents and visitors. Let's start off with a cookhouse, and you can get a cookhouse chow meal, hot or cold plate, and it's available to visitors, locals, and travelers alike, with no museum admission necessary. It's served in a lumberjack style from the kitchen through an 80-seat replica cookhouse. Very, very cool stuff. I did the clam digging earlier that day, and, well, those are the literal fruits of my labor. And there's Darcy, who was my guide, and just a wonderful human being overall. Now, the first thing you'll see is the big Esso sign, and it's kind of the anchor point I find for visiting. At least it was for me, and there are two actual gas pumps itself. And you can experience different types of workshops and mills from nearly 100 years ago. And it's really cool just to go and kind of browse through and see what they have and see, again, what life was like back then. And these are all very unique pieces. And, you know, it's a lot different than what we have in the modern world. And the tools are there and the pieces of wood are there. And it's a great way to look back at the evolution of how far we've come on the engineering and creative side from, again, the 1940s up until today. There's a prospector's cabin as well, and very different from what we're used to now in our modern homes. So here's a quick look through, and just it's so cool to see how different life was back then. And yes, I know there's history books and pictures, but just walking through and experiencing it for yourself is unmatched. Like, thoroughly a great way to go back in time and see what life was like back then. And here's a look at some of the tools that were used back in the 1940s. And yes, the elements still carry forward today, but again, just being able to walk through and see and touch some of these things is just so cool. And it's one of the more memorable aspects of my trip to Halifax and the Eastern Shore that I had, because you don't see this stuff all the time. And yes, the information is readily available, but again, just being able to experience it on your own schedule, no one's going to rush you through. And yes, there are guided tours if you so choose, but I highly recommend just strolling through on your own and getting a look and feel and just an understanding of, again, what life was like almost 100 years ago in this part of Nova Scotia. Here's the Clam Harbour United Church. And again, it's something that you can just walk through and sit down on the pews as well. And there's a quick look at the exterior of it. As a Gen Xer, I smiled heartily when I saw this. I don't think any other generation going forward has seen one of these, but instantly brought a smile to my face. And along with this as well, having the chalkboard and a map and the printout just above of the cursive ways to write each of the letters of the alphabet. So very, very cool. Looks like pretty uncomfortable desks. I'm happy I did not go to school back in the 40s, but it's a cool experience overall. There are animals that are on site, and here's a look at one of the sheeps, and they keep to themselves. They're not aggressive. They just do their own thing, and they're like, hey, how's it going? You know, if you want to take a picture or a video, go right ahead. And there's a cool old school pickup truck there in addition to the sheep. And there's also cats and chickens up in the barn as well. Now, as an automotive journalist as well, the Village Garage is one of the highlights for me. So after the war, local entrepreneurs opened up small garages that sold gas, they patched tires, and they ordered parts for a growing number of motorists. You can sit inside a 1928 Ford Model A or pose for a photo by the restored 1948 International pickup, which was in a few clips prior to that. And I love this. I love that it's not just, you know, here's what it would have looked like with a picture. The actual vehicle is right there for you to look at and take pictures with and touch and interact with. So there's a quick look at the inside. Again, very, very different from what we have here in the modern world. I will say that events are held throughout the season, and 2025's operating season goes from June 1st till the end of September, and visit their website for more details. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate the support. I invite you to subscribe to the Modern Traveler channel. And if you'd like to support Modern Traveler, I invite you to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.